Time now for your forewarned weather with Cedric Haynes.
All right, let's talk about your weather headlines here on this Tuesday as we get you out the door. We are going to be tracking a chance of a couple of isolated showers and a few rumbles here as we go into our Tuesday and Wednesday, but the chances are not that high, so don't let that scare you off from any of your outdoor plans here, as we're not talking about any big chances of precipitation or widespread rain chances. Now, the bigger story as we continue throughout this week, of course, is going to be the summer-like heat that will continue to build into the area, especially as we get towards the second half of the week. You're going to really start to notice those temperatures ramping up across the state. And by the time we get towards the weekend, we're talking about near record heat potential both across the north and the southern half of the state. So it's going to really get warm as we get towards the upcoming weekend. Outside the ABC4 studios right now, a lot of clear skies, a light breeze out there. Temperatures are in the upper 50s, nearing 60 degrees right now, and that's really pretty common along the Wasatch Front. We've got 57 in Ogden, 56 degrees in Provo. As we go a little farther south, we've got 52 in Price, 53 in Emory, 56 degrees, good morning to you, in Moab, 54 in Cedar City, and we've got 68 degrees currently in St. George. So as we look at the weather map, not a lot really to show you. A couple of patches of clouds out there from parts of the area west of the Great Salt Lake as you get down towards the southern mountains, but really we're pretty quiet. But we are watching this upper disturbance that's going to move by to our south over the next couple of days, and that will spin in just enough moisture to mix with the daytime heating to possibly give us a slight chance of a shower or two. Now notice we're talking today, tomorrow, that's going to be the best chance, and again, it's not a very high chance at all. So it's going to be very isolated in nature. So as you look at the storm threat map, yeah, this looks like a lot of folks are going to be seeing some stormy weather today, but keep in mind, within this green area, it's only going to be a very slight chance of an isolated hit or miss shower, so not everyone is going to see rain at all across the region. In fact, here's how it plays out on Futurecast. You can see with some of that daytime heating and moisture mixing, we get a couple of isolated downpours, primarily in the higher elevations across the Uintas, and then as you get down towards the southern mountains, and then as we go into this evening, we'll see that activity dissipating. Notice as we go throughout your Wednesday, a quiet start, but the afternoon we'll see a couple of more isolated downpours developing with the daytime heating, and that's going to be the pattern for the next couple of days, but by Thursday, we start to dry things out. So here's that weak disturbance as it makes its way through with those isolated storms, but as I mentioned, the big story, this high-pressure ridge that continues to really build across the western half of the country, and that's going to mean some hotter conditions across the region until we get towards next week when this storm may bring us some relief, but that's probably not going to be until the middle of next week or so. So as we look at your high temperature trend along the Wasatch Front, again, well above average as those temperatures get well into the 90s as we head towards the weekend. In St. George, we're going to see those temperatures getting well into the triple digits, above 100 degrees here, just in time for the end of the week, heading into the upcoming weekend. So as we look at your forecast in the extended range, 95 today in St. George, a slight chance of a pop-up shower, upper 90s for the end of the week, heading into the weekend. We've got those triple digits. We'll watch those numbers. Could be flirting with some record highs as we get towards this weekend, and then maybe that chance of rain starting to arrive by next Monday. The Wasatch Front, slight pop-up chances over the next few days with highs in the mid to upper 80s, but most of us will stay dry. And then notice as we get towards the end of the week, we've got those temperatures getting into the mid 90s, especially by the weekend, where we could be again flirting with some record high temperatures, especially as we get towards your Saturday and Sunday.